Hello everybody. So in this video we'll be discussing about how can we build a CD pipeline for a static website for hosting. So before discussing about how we can build a CD pipeline, let me give a background of why I built a CD pipeline. So since last 15 days I was working on a Vue.js project. It's a static website project where I need to develop a swing machine website which will display different products related to different swing machine providers. Okay, and I need to showcase them in the static websites. So in the Vue.js, whenever you want to deploy that, right, so you need to deploy two files into the S3. So here the static website provider in my case is S3. The first one is the distribution file, that is the build.js file, which gets generated after running the npm run build command. And the second one is the index.html file. So these are the two mandatory files which needs to be present in the S3. And after uploading those two files to S3, you need to make them public. Okay, and then you need to specify that in the static website hosting configuration for, option in the S3, that you need to refer whenever someone navigates to the website. As you can see in this image, this URL, you need to route to the index.html file. So these are the configurations that you need to specify each time you are uploading a file. So whenever whenever I was developing this Vue.js application, I need to add new features at every moment. So I need to see the output also, how it looks like whenever I deploy that. So for that, I need to upload the distribution file and the index.html file, and I need to make them public, and I need to set the configuration. So these are the processes which I had to follow each and every time I need to see how my feature looks like in the internet. So this is a same repetitive process that I need to follow. So for that, I thought that I need to avoid this process to fasten my development process. So for that, I built a CD pipeline, and I will be discussing now each of the steps what I followed to build that CD pipeline. So I am completely relying on the Amazon Web Service cloud, where I have leveraged the AWS CodeCommit service, where I have committed all of my development related files, and the complete source project is present in the AWS CodeCommit. There I created a repository and I have committed everything. And I have integrated that with the AWS code pipeline. The pipeline consists of the pipeline actually governs the AWS code commit and the AWS code build. It has two stages. The first stage is the AWS code commit, and the second stage is the AWS code build, where actually I run the build command. That means the npm run build command, and then I deploy the files to the S3. So let's look at the AWS code commit as part of the first stage of the pipeline. So this is the AWS code commit console. There I have created the repository, and the repository name is Swing Machine, and I have committed all of my files, Vue.js related files over here. And I have integrated this with the code pipeline. So what happens whenever I commit anything to this repository, it triggers the pipeline. Actually, a CloudWatch event rule is configured as part of the creation of the pipeline. It triggers the pipeline and it runs the necessary phases. Okay, so to integrate with the code pipeline, you need to have one file in your root project of the root folder of your project. So in my root folder is, this is the folder name. So this is the file. Okay, this is the file. It has to be present in your root folder. Okay, so in this root folder, in this file, you can see there are three phases. One is the install phase, second one is the build phase, and third one is the post build phase. So In the install page, I need to install the npm, because to build a Vue.js project you need to have npm, and this is the package I need for my project to be built, that is the Babel preset ES2015. So these are the required commands to build my project, to install the necessary plugins to run my project in the install phase. And in the second build phase, I need to run the npm run build command, where I'm actually building my project. So as part of the build process, it generates the build.js file. Okay, let me show that to over here. Actually in my local app built that file. So this is the distribution folder. Whenever you are running npm run build, this distribution folder will be created, and within that this build.js file will be created. Okay, so I need to deploy this file into the S3. So in the post build section, now I am copying this build.js file to the S3 location. This is the bucket name, and along with that I am also copying the index.html file to the bucket location. So after that, as I said, I need to make these two objects to be public so that it could be accessible publicly. So for that I need to put the object ACL. After that I need to configure the static website hosting configuration. So for that I need to run this command. I need to provide the bucket name, and I need to provide the website configuration. So for that I have actually committed one of the website.json file in my project, and that needs to be present so that this command can read it and put the proper website configuration. So this is the required file where I have the index.html file, and second one is the error document, and for that error document also I have provided the index.html file. You can have an error.html file also. So here we discussed about the complete 3 phases which are required for the building of this project, and remember that this build spec.yml file should be present at the root folder of the your project. Okay, so let's look at the pipeline. So in this pipeline, as you can see, there are 2 stages. One is the source stage and the second one is the build stage. So in the source stage, my source is the AWS CodeCommit, which is this one. That means whenever I am committing something, it triggers an event and this pipeline will be started. Okay, so this is the source, and once the source phase is complete, then it will run the build phase. So in the build phase, whatever I discussed in the previous section, like it goes through 3 phases, that is the install phase, then the build phase, then the post build phase. So what are the necessary commands I have written in those phases that will be executed step by step. Okay, so after those stages are complete, I upload these files to the S3 in this bucket. As you can see, in the distribution folder I have provided the build.js file and the index.html file. And as you can see in the properties section, the static website hosting is enabled because this is the last command which I executed as part of the build process, as part of the post build process. Okay, so yeah, so these are the stages that gets executed. Let me show you the actual logs which gets generated whenever the build is running. Okay, so whenever the build runs, right, it it writes those log messages to the log group which I have created. So this is the log group which I have created, and this is the log streams for that log group. So let's look at the log streams. So this is the build stage. So this is the build stage, as you can see, and this is the first command which got executed. And after that, the npm run, npm installed, and all of those commands got executed as part of the build. And this is the preset. I think it is part of the install phase. And after this, the build got executed. Npm run build. And finally, I have executed this command, which actually created the static website configuration for me. Okay, so let's see this in action. Suppose I want to commit something. Let's have a dummy commit, something like I have added a space, and so I have just committed one dummy change just to showcase that it has actually triggered my pipeline. So this is actually event driven process. Just refreshing this page. So as you can see that AWS CodeCommit has been triggered. That means the first stage of this pipeline. Okay. So this is in progress state. So this got completed, as you can see, and the build stage is now running. So let's look at in the CloudWatch. So what happened? It created one log stream for me. Okay, so as you can see, it has started the build. It is now in the build stage. I think build stage is now complete. Sorry, the install phase is now complete, and now it is in the build phase, running npm run build command. And I think this is also complete, and we are now entering the post build phase, where I have executed all those commands whatever needed. Okay, and this is succeeded. So this change which I committed, it is now succeeded, and the two stages are now complete. Okay, as you can see, this is the final message of this pipeline. So let me rephrase. Yeah, this is now complete. Okay, now let's navigate to the website actually. So this is my website. Which got deployed just now. So this is just a simple website where I am showcasing what are the swing machine products that are available. So these are the swing machine products, and yep. So these are the this is a basic website which got deployed, and I just discussed like how you can automate this process, like by committing the codes and building a pipeline, and finally being deploying and navigating to the static website. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can comment on the video. Okay, thanks for watching.